Welcome back.
Yay.
We are back again. This is episode number 20?
Yes, 020.
020. Did we end up getting any comments, questions, or concerns?
No.
For this week? No, nothing.
A lot of get off the air, stop wasting our time, Mike and Adam.
Why do I spend an hour a week listening to this bull crap every effing week?
It makes sense. We are wasting everyone's time.
We get our 20 views.
Hopefully more this time because I hear that you announced that that we actually have a show.
I know. I told Mike that all of the people that I care about that I saw over the holiday were all in shock to learn that I had a podcast.
What's a podcast?
What's a podcast? And you've been doing one? Like, yeah, we got episode 20 coming up this weekend. Like, oh, what do you guys talk about? You know,
everything.
A bunch of crap. I reminded my mom.
It's a waste of time. Okay, so, yay, we're back on the Skinny with Mike and Adam episode.
Still the awkwardest of all transitions.
It is, yeah, episode 020. Another landmark episode, I think.
Who won Super Bowl 20, Mike? You better know this one, because if you don't, I don't think we're going to be friends.
The Chicago Bulls.
Right city, different sport. Which is the sport
really?
that plays football?
The Bears won?
The Bears won Super Bowl 20.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. And their banner is on our wall.
Woohoo! January 26, 1986.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mike was not yet born yet,
No,
I think.
yeah.
Wow.
I would have celebrated with you if they had.
I found pictures of me from that Super Bowl when I was at my dad's, of me playing catch in somebody's backyard with an old man wearing a yellow sweater. I was like, I think I know who that old man is, but I'm not sure.
You were almost abducted that day.
I think so. That's the only thing I remember about that Super Bowl was playing catch with that old man, because he was a cool guy from what I remember.
Sweet. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about ours much later in the in the show on the plate segment. But before that, let's go ahead and jump into the feed. Okay, so the feed this week. You know, after Thanksgiving, there's our annual Black Friday in America. In America. And in America, we spend a lot of money, but not as much money as the people.
Boy, did Adam spend a lot of money yesterday.
Oh, yeah, but you spent it on your house.
On my house, which I guess is a better investment than if I just spent it on
garbage.
Yeah. I spent it on my future child.
Yes, and your future kitchen.
Yes.
All right, so CelebrityNetWorth.com has released a list of the 50 richest singers in the world. You know, there's a lot of names on this list, and some of them you would
we're not going to go through
them.
all of them.
No, we can just highlight a bunch of people that we know. So number one on the list is Sir Paul McCartney with a net worth of $800 million.
Wow.
And we got Bono at number 2. You know, and then you go across and you see the names that you would expect to see, like Jimmy Buffett, Elton John, Mick Jagger. I hear some people have moves like Mick Jagger.
Right.
So
is Adam Levine on this list, by the way?
I don't. Maybe
soon enough, man. Whoa, the youngest one on here, I think, is Dave Grohl.
Yeah, David Grohl at number 11 at $225 million.
That's a lot. Foo Fighters, Nirvana on drums.
Yes, and we got at number 18. We got Billy Joel. That's
Sing
at
us
100.
The song, you're the rich piano man.
Oh yeah,
he made a lot of tips over the years. 160 million worth, I guess. Mm-hmm. Whoa, Axl Rose right behind him at 150 million. I didn't know these people were still relevant. John Bon Jovi, well, his daughter just OD'd on heroin, so I'm glad she's got plenty of money to buy heroin.
Oh
still.
Boy, we got Ozzy Osbourne at number 31 at $90 million.
Holy cow!
We got Eddie Vedder.
What? He hasn't made anything in a long time, and the last album was not very good.
Enough to get him at the number 34 spot for $80 million.
Wow. Michael Stipe is on this list. He's still sitting on Stephen Colbert's mantle.
I know. This must be awkward. This must be awkward because at number 49 and number 50, respectively, we got Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge.
Oh, wow.
There must be
both
tension.
Making the same, and nowhere to be found on here is the other guy from that band.
Yeah, well, he's not a lead singer.
Yeah, but
he was on the drummers list, remember?
Yeah. So he didn't really write. He doesn't have songwriting credits for Blink songs.
This is just for lead singers.
What the hell is that dude's name? Travis Barker.
Travis Barker.
Hello.
And we got Chris Cornell, number 48. That brings a smile to Adam's heart.
We'll talk about him later in the day. I love that they put Audioslave on here. Like, that matters anymore.
Hey, remember when he was an Audioslave, guys?
Rage Against Your Garden.
And then as we get lower and lower in the list, we got a bunch of surprises and a bunch of what the fucks. Wow. We got Jonathan Davis from Korn at number 58.
Whoa.
Kid Rock at number 63.
He's the real McCoy.
Yeah, he's a real American badass. Watch him kick. He can roll with rock, or you can suck my radio edit. He likes porno flicks and Amazing Grace. He wants to fuck some hoes, and he's gonna rock this place.
Wow.
I can go on forever.
And he supported Mitt Romney. So
he did.
He was one of the 5 celebrities.
And according to Food Network, he has his own beer brewing company.
And good for him. Him and Meatloaf can vote for Mitt Romney together and sing about it.
Tom York of Radiohead at number 64.
Wow, so he's still making money even though Radiohead doesn't sell their albums for money anymore.
Actually, they do. They make pretty much 100% profit off their stuff now ever since they dropped their label. Ever since the album In Rainbows, they've been independent and they've been making a lot of money.
A lot more money. Yeah. Well, not as much as Paul McCartney, but still.
No, not Paul McCartney money.
If you want to just give up on life, then go ahead.
The talentless hack Jack White at number 66. Scott
right ahead
Stapp.
Of... Man, Scott Stapp has that much money.
He has that much money.
Oh, my God. And right behind him...
Chad Kroeger at number 68.
I'm getting more angry the more I read this.
Notice that Avril Lavigne is not on this list.
Well, she's not a guy.
She's a lead singer.
I don't see anything. Okay, I did see Gwen
Pat
Stefani.
Yeah, Pat Benatar is on this also.
How can Peter Frampton be behind Chad Kroeger? That doesn't make any sense.
Because people like horrible music.
And then Geddy Lee from Rush after him.
Zach De La Rocha? I didn't even know he was making music.
He's still with Rage Against the Machine. They reunited several years ago to nobody's
care.
Nobody's care or announcement. Rob Halford.
And Adam,
richest gay man I know.
Read me number 84.
Oh my God, I don't want to.
Keep scrolling.
Okay, 84. Duh.
Fred Durst at $8 million.
Rounding out the list of the top 84 of all time.
So he has $8 million more than I do, but he's still a talentless hack douchebag.
Oh my God.
I hate lists like this.
Yeah. $8 million. That's still sad for how high he got. And
I wonder
to
how
still
much
be
he was
behind Scott Stapp.
Yeah. Well, Scott Stapp is still making music, to be fair, I guess.
Is he?
Well, Fred Durst, I think. Remember we had that in the feed once.
Yes. We knew that Limp Bizkit broke up.
Yeah.
Creed released an album back in 2009.
Yeah.
Their reunion album. And
didn't I get that for you?
Yeah, and I listened to it once, and it might still be on my iPod. I don't know. I probably deleted it.
If your iPod breaks, then we know it was because of the Creed album.
Probably. And so, oh man, that's just sad. That's just like the list of has-beens.
Hey, also I see Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach at number 80.
Whoa,
he's making more
and he's
money.
Still making albums, which is really sad that he's only 4 points above Fred Durst.
Oh boy.
I heard their new song on the radio because I got stuck listening to the radio the other day.
Oh my God!
And I was stuck in the Taco Bell drive-thru. 15 cars ahead of me, 15 cars behind me, and Papa Roach on the radio.
All right, well, I'm gonna have this list down below in the show notes, so you guys feel free to check it out and be shocked or amazed. I don't really care. It's just it's a sad list, and it just shows a bunch of bands that really shouldn't be making all this money.
Nowhere on there was a Ronnie Radke.
No, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I think so. And nobody from the Warped Tour from this year.
No.
There was no Buddy
Nielsen.
Yeah, Buddy Nielsen. Yeah. He's probably got 7.9 million.
Yeah. So the list just wasn't rounded out that much.
Exactly.
They needed a nice even number for this. But another thing that upsets me is that once again, Mike McCullough from For Someone the Fallen and the Modern Hymn was
fame.
For fame, yes.
Which means
world
you're
fame.
Still...
I was shafted again.
And you're still less credible than Fred Durst in this world.
Yeah. Isn't that sad?
That is sad.
Yeah.
He's got more sway in this world than both you and I.
Speaking of credibility in this world, now that the end of the year is coming up, you get a bunch of magazine articles, bunch of websites, bunch of organizations are starting to have their, top of the year list.
I know.
A magazine I used to listen to, a magazine I used to read and subscribe on a monthly basis because
you can't listen to it yet.
I can't listen to it yet.
Start podcasting magazines. Mike is there.
Your podcasting magazine's right here weekly at theskinny.com, at theskinnywithmikeandadam.blogspot.com. Check it. But a magazine I used to read a bunch because I loved their music taste, and just slowly it started getting more commercial. It started getting more pandering, which I think is the gist of this next topic.
More and more geared
Alternative Press Magazine. Yes, exactly. Alternative Press Magazine has released their Artist of the Year, and it's been the band that we talked most about on the show.
Yeah, this is like the Limp Bizkit of 2012.
And which is, of course, Falling in Reverse. And if you guys listen to this show on a weekly basis, then you know our disdain for this band.
The disdain. And still, I have to lean on your disdain because you still won't let me listen to the album.
You heard enough at Warped Tour.
I heard 2 songs, and I want to judge them accordingly. I had to go back and listen to the first Escape the Fate album because I needed to, remember.
Refresh your memory.
Yeah, there was 4 songs on there that I kind of liked. But other than that, it was a bunch of crap.
Do you want it?
I was discussing, life issues with the 15-year-old the other day, and she put Falling in Reverse on her phone, and I was just like,
"Oh, that's awful."
Well, it was just it was my funeral jam.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I still need to listen to this band.
Okay,
they are Artist of the Year. I mean, I should give them a little bit of credit.
We should give them credibility.
So
because Alternative Press Magazine did.
And there they are on the cover, looking like a lot older than 26.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah. And we skipped over the last time Ronnie Radke got arrested for
beating up his girlfriend,
beating up his fans.
Oh, beating up his
at
fans.
The show.
That's right. Yeah.
We didn't do that story that week for some reason.
We did.
Something happened.
No, we that was on one of our episodes. Yeah.
Okay, we'll edit this out then.
Okay.
And I thought we had skipped over it for some reason, but
no. Trust me. Anytime there's Ronnie Radke news, we gotta report it on the Skinny with Mike and Adam.
So angry at him still.
I hate him so much, and it's nothing personal. He's just a scumbag who's involved in a murder and keeps and keeps denying anything is wrong. He has this inflated
Fred Durst
ego.
Never killed anybody.
At least Fred Durst never killed anyone.
There were fans that died at his show. Some from asphyxiation, some from self-induced bullet wounds to the head. But
at least Fred Durst had nothing to do with it, and he was legitimately, remorseful for it happening.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to
Ronnie Radke,
put him lower on
none
the
of that.
totem pole.
Exactly. So I don't know if any of you listen to Alternative Press Magazine, any of you current music fans, but let's boycott it.
I already have been.
Yeah.
This whole time. Like I've said, fuck this magazine
you
from
looked
day
into
one.
The future, and you knew that they were going to do that. So speaking of Artists of the Year, maybe a more accredited source here, but according to RollingStone.com, well, they had their award show also, but the American
This picture once again, he might as well be Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's so photogenic, isn't he?
Yes.
But the American Music Awards have crowned Sir Justin Bieber as Artist of the Year. He also
Lord
won
and Lady Bieber.
He also won favorite pop rock album and male artist.
He did.
That same day.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. And who did he thank, Adam, when he was up on stage accepting his awards?
He thanked, for one, his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Of course.
Don't forget about him.
As we all should.
Because only rap artists and Super Bowl winners
yeah.
thank him. And he's dedicated it to all the haters.
Yes.
Who
like
said,
you and me.
Who 2 years ago said he would only be around for a year or two.
That isn't really up to the fans. That's up to his label.
True.
Yes.
I guess. I have no idea.
That's up to the production people, how far they push it and how far they sell his music to Pepsi or Disney or whoever owns Justin Bieber now.
Yeah. And somebody does. He
Yeah.
just goes back into the vault in a prop department somewhere. And
Yeah.
then comes out looking more like Rachel Maddow every day.
Oh boy! So did you guys check out the American? Did you check out the American Music Awards?
No, I haven't watched that for a long time.
Do you find it credible at all, or is it?
I don't find any award shows credible.
Is it all mula mula?
Yeah, I don't know. Especially when you see who's the list of nominees.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're just like, no. Country artists, no.
I didn't find that very credible at all. I think it's just more like how much music he sold, how much money he made that year. Oh, he's the artist of the year.
I guess so.
Might as well.
How many penises did he stroke upon?
Yes.
And make Selena Gomez angry.
Not figuratively.
Literally. He
literally
peni. Strokes penises.
In his mouth.
In his mouth.
While Selena Gomez cries in the
cries
corner. Cries dreams, in my arms.
Yes, in Mike's arms because she's living with you now.
Yeah.
And
she's doing well.
I hope she's doing well.
She says hi.
Okay, good. Feel free to bring her over one of these days.
She wants you to come over, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I figured you're too busy with the three-ways to even find time to...
You can add another person. Okay. The more, the merrier.
The four-ways are...
Remember, you're the CFO of our polygamous
Chief
contract.
Financial Officer.
Yeah.
You're the alpha,
yeah.
So primary seed depositor.
Yes.
I'm the... You're the beta seed depositor.
Yeah.
And Joseph is just the eye candy.
Yes. He can't touch. As I hate Joseph so much.
Yes.
I love him, but I hate him so much. All right, so moving on. As you guys may have remembered from last week, we reported that Kevin Clash of Elmo fame.
I was so sad to hear about this.
Yeah.
And forever, Elmo is discredited in my eyes. I saw Elmo on a pair of diapers that were being worn by a one-year-old. And I was like... Hey.
Lies.
Isn't it weird that Elmo is not on Sesame Street anymore because of all of these reasons?
Well, I don't know if they're going to recast Elmo, but according to this article, Kevin Clash has resigned as the voice of Elmo.
After 20-something years.
Oh, yeah.
Because another person came forward and said that I was underage when Kevin Clash diddled my pickle.
Once one person does it, then more people start
He tried to turn
suit.
me into his Elmo, and I wouldn't say what he wanted me to say.
You wouldn't say naughty things into your cell phone,
right?
Make it your new ringtone, like Adam wants to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
previous episode.
So Kevin Clash has said that I am resigning from Sesame Workshop with a very heavy heart. I have loved every day of my 28 years working for this exceptional organization. 52-year-old Clash said in a statement. So basically, it's
so sad.
All the drama from his personal life is now caught up to him, and Sesame Street wants to back away from that kind of drama. It really looks bad on their image by doing so, and it's a damn shame because he technically didn't do anything wrong.
Underage sex to a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't Elmo on Sesame Street anymore?
They just want to learn their letters and numbers.
When a middle-aged man loves a teenage man,
yeah,
teenage boy, a little too much,
and that teenage boy lies illegal. About his age,
right? It's illegal, and so yada yada yada. Elmo will be not around anymore. They'll hang him up in a coat closet somewhere.
Sorry, little Johnny.
Sorry, Johnny. You will always have your DVDs to remember him by.
But here's Elmo's girlfriend, Zoe, I guess. I always hated Zoe. She's so annoying.
Is there is that where you named your daughter from?
Oh, no, I didn't get it from that.
I knew that wasn't the case.
But you know little Zoe, right? That little pink
seen
Elmo?
Sesame Street since I was like 12.
Oh, okay, but I hate her so much. Maybe somebody should accuse the Zoe puppeteer of underage sex.
I think they should. I should.
Yeah, there you go.
Right now, when I was 17,
the puppeteer
I had an
of
inappropriate
Zoe.
relationship with Zoe's hand model,
which you don't want to disclose their name out of respect of their privacy,
right? Because I need to do a little bit more research.
Please deposit $50 million into this wired account.
Yes, and get 50 million more people to listen to our podcast.
Yeah. So it's been a sad week for Sesame Street. It's been a sad year for Sesame Street. Really, they've had all this negative attention toward them. So, and this had to happen, around Thanksgiving. So,
of course, and right before my child is at Sesame Street age.
Exactly.
Another 5 years or so.
At least be grateful that your child will not experience this Sesame Street drama.
Be exposed to the potential to be around gay people. Can you imagine a child growing up around gay people?
Oh, that'd be horrible.
That's awful. That's just sickening to
the
very core of my being.
Fundamentalists are right.
God, I'm going to go listen to my Justin Bieber album. Man.
Or you know what we should do? We should go on the plate.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so like I said, this past Thursday was Thanksgiving weekend, or Thanksgiving. Now it's Thanksgiving weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend.
I always do. I look forward to this week more than any other week.
Yeah, so we're gonna we're just gonna have a nice, relaxed conversation about what we did, what our plans were, what we ended up doing, and any sort of gluttony and we're gonna air out some family drama. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. So
there's
Adam,
plenty to go around.
So Adam,
Mike's house, I think, more than mine, but
we'll
see.
We'll compare and contrast. But Adam, you talked about your plans briefly last week. Do you want to talk about what you guys did?
So we do the lunch with the wife's side of the family.
Yes,
where
you did that last Saturday.
Luckily, we didn't get sidetracked on any political conversations, which was pleasant. The more hardcore Republicans stayed in a corner the entire time, reading or looking at his phone, and didn't say a word, and that was okay. And we watched some football, and we ate some turkey, talked about random adult material that you do when you're around a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Because they're really good at separating the genders, because when you're eating turkey around, boobs and vaginas.
Why would you want to eat food in front of women?
I know.
Horrible.
It's terrible. And to watch women eat food is just
disgusting.
Sickening. I just need it to be separate.
Women are just objects used for our sexual gratification. They should not be eating or drinking.
Exactly.
Now I wonder why people don't hate me.
So I explained about, how Mike has been able to purchase legally and ethically all of my materials, both for adult means and for entertainment means.
You told people that
I shared this story with people. So they may be contacting you in the future.
Oh, great. I got to start a warehouse business now.
I think so. Just, charge 25 cents per viewing.
So I'm gonna turn my basement dungeon into like an adult arcade.
I think you should, and charge
why not
$5 per head.
I need to hire like a full-time like custodian, because I'm not going down there cleaning.
Yeah, that would be pretty gross. Please clean up your own mess on your way
Well,
out.
thank you for telling that your friends and family that I've given you porns before. Awesome.
This was all mixed in with discussion of football.
Yeah.
And it worked
naturally,
out really well.
The natural progression from football is also music and porn.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
And then we went over to the liberal side of the family and had more food and didn't discuss anything about politics again, which was nice. And saw people I hadn't seen for a long time.
The whole left side of your family is all happy because Obama,
yes.
Obama was reelected.
Got to see my mom and describe to her everything that happened in Ohio, and
because she doesn't listen to the show.
And she told me much more about crazy dad stories from the 80s.
No weird briefcases?
No weird briefcases that we know of. But so we just processed all of that, and it was fun. And then I brought home a bunch of turkey, and I had a lot of food.
Yeah, but you also went to your friend the Whalens.
Yes. Well, that was the left side of the family.
Oh, okay.
I consider them.
I thought you were going to. I thought you went to 3.
Just 2.
Just 2 this year?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So the Wayland side is the left side, which is usually the liberal side. But we didn't discuss any politics.
Of course.
Except we reread all of the how to cook a turkey stuff that 5-year-olds wrote.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago. So we reread those every year.
That's cool.
And we laugh and things like, first you kill a turkey, then you take all the bones out, then you cover it in salt, and then you put hot sauce on it, then you put brown sauce from McDonald's on it.
Ooh, the brown sauce.
You cook it for 8 years, and then you take it out and eat it when Grandma says you can.
Oh, okay.
So it's cute and adorable and funny. And
cover it in salt and brown sauce.
Salt and brown sauce. I think we should get Zoe to do one of those.
I should copy like that.
We should.
That's a good idea. I should
be like, Zoe, how do you make a turkey? And then get like 20 other 5-year-olds to do it and see how it turns out.
I should ask her entire preschool class.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and then we came home, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Ate a lot of food.
Still got a shit ton of food left over, yeah?
Well, yes, still a lot of food left over, so we went out and spent lots and lots of money yesterday at Lowe's. Oh, we went to the Lowe's that we talked about.
Oh, the one where that one guy was?
The homophobic Lowe's.
Yeah. To be fair, it was just one guy.
But I was there with 2 women, so it was okay. 2 smoking hot women.
Yes.
So I was the envy of every guy that was there.
Hell yeah.
I'm just pushing out my cabinet. my new kitchen's coming out with a bunch of hot chicks following
So that
around.
was your Black Friday then?
That was my Black Friday. I mean, we didn't go till like 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But it was still fun.
Nice. All right, so me. Well, this year, as you may or may not have heard, this is the first time I've ever cooked a Thanksgiving dinner.
I know.
I've never cooked a bird that large before. I had a 15-pound turkey.
Holy cow.
And I was stressing out.
Is that pretty average size, 15 pounds? I've
Yeah.
never really weighed them.
Yeah,
All right.
15, like 10 to, I think 10 to 12 is like normal for like a maybe a single family. But I got like a 15-pound because I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. And 9 people eating.
Good thing my wife and I weren't there.
No, you should have fucking come because we had lots of food, and you should have fucking come over because you love me.
I have to decide which of the 2 houses I don't want to go to, and that's a very difficult thing to do. God damn it!
But you said I think last week that you're coming over next year.
I got a year to figure it out. Next year's a whole different story. We're gonna have a baby a 6-month-old baby.
He or she is allowed to come.
Are they?
They might even have a tooth or two.
Oh God! To eat a little string of turkey.
Yeah, why not?
We'll see how it goes.
All
We
right,
have
so
a whole
I
year
was
plan.
stressing out with that turkey ever since I bought it. I've never cooked a turkey that big.
Did you even
before.
sleep the night before? Were you stressing out that badly?
I wasn't like shaking, stressing out, but I was still nervous about how it was going to turn out because I didn't want it to be overcooked or underdone or late or anything. So I told everyone dinner was going to be at 3:00. I was cooking all day.
Because for some reason dinner is at 3 on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's a Family Guy reference.
Oh, really?
Cha-ching.
We gave them money.
Anyway.
So I've been cooking all day. I've been on my feet all day, just continuing to check the turkey. I seasoned it properly. I was
barefoot and pregnant.
Barefoot, pregnant. Yeah,
Good.
with rollers in my hair.
Good.
With my moo on.
And April is like yelling derogatory statements while watching football from the living room.
And she was sitting on her recliner, legs spread,
saying, "Get in
wearing
here,"
a wife
and
beater and her tighty whities.
Good.
Drinking a beer.
Good.
Cigar in her mouth.
Now I'm getting hot, but good.
Throwing beer at me while saying sexist remarks.
Yes.
Like, get back in the kitchen, you
suck,
woman.
you little bitch.
And come over here and suck my dick.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I will suck thine dick. April and Zoe actually helped make the dinner too. So I had homemade mashed potatoes, had some stuffing, green bean casserole, homemade mac and cheese.
Ooh.
And Zoe helped make the mashed potatoes. So
Where does the mac and cheese come from? That seems to be only. I don't know anybody that does that. I've never been to a house that does mac and cheese.
We buy the
is
elbow
that a normal
macaroni.
thing?
Well, where does it come from?
No, is that just a normal thing for your family to do?
Oh, we just like mac and cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any excuse to clog our colons.
Yeah, exactly. So when we made that, Zoe mashed the potatoes and she helped season the stuff. She helped baste the turkey when it needed basting. She was very helpful. And the day before, my wife made a peanut butter pie and a homemade apple pie.
Now I'm really hard.
You remember?
I'm so hard right now.
You remember that peanut butter pie, right?
I remember the peanut butter pie, Mike. I dream about it every single
you
night.
Masturbate to it, too.
And every night. Oh, my God. Peanut butter pie.
we told you to come over.
I had pumpkin and chiffon and gluten-free pumpkin pie.
Ooh, gluten-free.
Well, I didn't have enough room for the gluten-free one, but it was there.
Nobody does.
It was there still.
Yeah, we wanted to make more pie, but we just had time for the apple. And
I was hoping you were bringing it over today, like some leftover pie.
Oh, we should have asked for some.
I don't know why you didn't just think we're connected on the spiritual level. You should know.
Maybe that channel was off. I don't know.
Like, you should just go, bing, Adam wants pie.
Adam wants pie. He wants to jerk off to some pie right now. Specifically my wife's pie. And that is not a sexual... That is a sexual statement.
Just right above the pie.
Yeah. While she watches in amazement. Because you have the best sperm.
Oh, that's the best. A doctor said so.
A medical doctor, licensed doctor said that. Yeah,
anyway,
everything.
Back to food.
Yeah, so back to food. Everything seemed to go well. Joe and Laura showed up. Joe just had a surgery too, so he wasn't in the best of moods. He was kind of tired and groggy. He had breast augmentation.
A surgery reduction. That I know well from 1996.
Yeah, he had a breast reduction done from his chubby days.
Well, and his breasts were just so full
of food.
I never thought that he had breasts, man boobs, or anything like that.
You've seen him with a shirt on.
I did, and I never
seen him naked.
Yeah, and I've never said like, dude, you need to do something about those man tits.
Yeah, man. You can't be our friend until you get surgery on your tits.
I know. See, for me, I was already morbidly obese at 15 or 16 at that time. I needed it done just for my own self-esteem issues.
Yeah, it's the same thing for him. Like, he's always been self-conscious. He's very nitpicky, Joe. I mean, you know him, so.
Well,
he's very nitpicky. He's very image-based in a way. He doesn't really let him shit with it show, but like he's
nicest guy in the world, but
yeah, exactly.
A little more image-based than Mike and I are.
Exactly. We love you, Joe.
Mike looks like Johnny Depp. We didn't even mention that this is an extra furry edition of the Skinny today.
I think next week is going to be because next week, December 1st, when we record our episode, we're going to shave. We're going to shave it. Maybe we should shave it on the show. Maybe.
We could.
Why not?
Well, it'd be kind of messy, but
yeah, whatever. Who cares? We're
going to take a picture ahead of time.
Yeah.
We'll post it on the Facebook account.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So family showed up also. Family who invited themselves, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was.
Is this gearing into family issues realm?
I always have family issues.
Okay,
Adam.
so we can talk about family issues because we know they're not listening.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so they invited themselves like
all the people I care about don't listen.
Before.
Okay.
Oh, well, you don't know that because you invited more people to listen.
Yeah, there's like 3 new listeners maybe today.
I hope so. Any more listeners is always a good thing.
Yes.
So my family invited themselves. Like my sister was talking to my wife, and my wife happened to mention like, oh yeah, we have doing Thanksgiving this year by ourselves, and they're like, oh, okay, so we'll come too.
No,
sure,
no,
no.
It was supposed to be quiet and peaceful.
It was So it was originally it was just plans that Adam and Don were going to show up. It was just going to be the 4 of us.
And Obama bashing free, right? I mean, Mike bashes
surprisingly. Obama bashing free.
Okay. I think the Republicans they're in what do you call
deep
it?
Shit.
Yeah, like a tail between their legs.
Yeah,
running away kind of mode.
They've got nothing on us libertarians.
I guess not. Or a Green Party.
Or Green Parties.
The Hulk Party.
Yeah,
Green angry.
So my family came over. My mom made some lumpia and some Filipino chow mein called pancit.
Oh,
it's fucking. We have some at the house too if you want some.
It's fucking what? What is it? Fucking
Adam. Fucking Adam.
Which is incredible, right?
It's very good.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Just making sure. It's
fucking
not
Adam
fucking
is great.
Gross. It's fucking Adam.
It's very exceptional. Awesome. Got it. Yeah, so my mom... So I mean,
did she bring that to like a birthday party at some point? Because I have a feeling I've tried that before.
I think she brought it to Zoe's second birthday party.
Okay.
That was the last time we had a big party.
That was a long time ago now. Yeah.
2 years ago.
Ugh. Yeah. So I'm sure I had it at some point.
Yeah. I think I've made you some lumpia too.
Again, probably a long time ago.
Yeah. I'll make some again for
Please do.
Yeah.
When we have our party coming up the next couple of weeks.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that.
That would be.
And I have it on record, so now you can
don't forget
me. Yeah. So my mom brought over that food, and it was pretty quiet after that. I mean, as soon as I got there, the food is pretty much done. So they dug in right away, and surprisingly, everyone loved the turkey.
So it was just your mom, dad, sister,
brother
there?
My niece.
Your little niece, she's
niece.
doing well. I hope.
She's doing well. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, she's doing a lot better. She can she's responsive now. Yeah.
You haven't shared much about your niece on the podcast.
We'll keep that private though.
Okay.
That's between you and me. So yeah, she's responsive now, and she's doing
Excellent.
much better. Yeah, so I'm happy about that.
Good.
I was holding her and I was talking to her, and she smiled at me.
Yay!
I was like, oh, that's quite a feat.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, she's interesting.
Yeah. Yes, and surprisingly, everyone liked the food I made, and that brought a smile to my black heart.
Like, libertarian shit.
Fucking liberal garbage.
Only liberals eat white meat because the dark meat is too racist.
Oh yeah, I should eat some dark meat so people don't think I hate Obama. Yeah, but
I'm sure a lot of families had that discussion this year.
Yeah,
I know it. Luckily, it didn't happen in mine because
it didn't happen in mine either. So like my family was the antisocial people that they are. But my mom wasn't feeling very well. My mom was usually a social butterfly,
bummer.
But she wasn't feeling very well. She got like a little cold, so she fell asleep on the couch immediately after dinner, and so my dad was just there watching Cowboys versus Indians on the foosball.
Classic.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, because sorry, when you said that, I thought you meant Cowboys versus Aliens, the movie.
No. The foosball, the same game that you were watching.
The Cowboys playing the Redskins. Yeah. That's right. So
the same game you were watching. Yeah.
Who ended up winning that game? I left at halftime.
I don't remember, but when I turned it on, like the score was like pretty big.
The Redskins were killing them the last time I checked.
Yeah, it was a pretty big score.
Indians get revenge today.
Thanks taking. So we had that. We had good discussions with Joe and Laura, and my family left pretty early. Like pretty much, that's what I expected. I didn't bother to fight it anymore because wasn't worth the fight. And then they left maybe like an hour after they ate, and after we had pie, they just left, and Joe and Laura stayed for a while, and we had some good discussions with them. I always love talking to those two. They're some of my favorite people.
Orgy.
Almost, because Laura had to leave. Laura was going to her grandma's or something to eat some pie.
You're so close.
Yeah, we almost had Laura's pie.
Almost. Laura pie.
Laura, I love you more than you know. I just want you to know that. This is
going to be the, We Love Laura podcast from here on.
We just have a sister podcast where we just talk about Laura for an hour.
Yeah. When we run out of on-the-plate topics, we should just discuss how hot all these women we know are.
Isn't it awesome how all the women in our life are super hot?
Like when we have get-togethers and people show up that don't know us, it's just like, God, Adam and Mike are just surrounded by a bevy.
We're so awesome
of hot chicks all the time.
I know.
Because I've often wanted to ask, was like, Generation Y, hot generation or the hottest generation?
That's a good.
I'm just like, were chicks ever as hot in the past as they are now?
That's a good point.
Now, if you ask my father-in-law, he said that the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders were a lot hotter back in the 70s.
No.
And I find that really hard to believe.
Yeah. That's just how he remembers it.
Yes.
I think nowadays he sees the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders like, I'm a pedophile now.
Exactly. These poor women, they need to go to college.
Go back to your My Little Ponies.
There's a war going on.
Oh, boy.
Man. Sorry, that was a Louis C.K. reference.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that one.
I think I have.
Okay.
It sounds familiar.
All right.
Yeah, so, everything went well, and we had to clean up, and Joe did my dishes, which I was...
That's surprising.
I was thankful for.
Joe makes fun of me every time I do dishes at my house.
And since he was, like, wrapped up in, like, compression, like, gauze, and, like,
I remember those. For
his breast surgery.
Yes.
He was standing like a robot the whole time, so it was funny watching him, like, gripping plate, commencing washing of plate.
My boobs hurt.
Rinsing mechanism deployed.
So that now was very he can nice tell everybody that he got a boob job.
Yeah,
that's only something that certain guys can tell other guys.
Yeah, so it was a very pleasant evening. Lots of good food. We had lots of leftovers. People brought home the food, and everyone liked the turkey. And I'm very happy about that. So I mean, it gives me the confidence to do it again next year. Did you have leftovers, or did they all go home with your guests? A lot of them, but we made too much food. I overestimated how much food we needed. So we have plenty of food left in our refrigerator right now. Yeah, plenty of pie too. Do you want some peanut butter pie?
Oh, I would love pie. Yeah. And see, we were even like up towards you yesterday.
Oh, come on.
You were at work, so we were like,
okay.
Because we were loading up furniture and things like that, and I was like, you should get Mike to help.
Yeah.
But I knew you were at work.
Yeah, so Black Friday, my wife ended up going to the Tyler Galleria here in Riverside, and she went there at like midnight. She was going to go pick up some clothes for herself, because we were done with the Christmas shopping already.
Wow,
this is like a record for us.
Yeah,
we don't really need to pick anything else. So I just gave her some money, some spare money that I have, just to buy clothes for herself.
Buy yourself something pretty.
Yeah,
you just threw a 20 at her.
Yeah, exactly.
Said, so doll face, go buy yourself something pretty.
You want to be a star, don't you? Yeah. So she went to the mall and she didn't find anything that she wanted, so she came home right away. But the very next day, she took Zoe out to like the Moreno Valley Plaza, and she just went ape shit. And
it must be so awful going to the mall
at
like 1 a.m. and being surrounded by a billion people.
Oh yeah, she was telling me about it. I don't ever want to step foot on a Black Friday morning, never. No. But the crowds were clearing up throughout the day, and she ended up buying herself some clothes, bought Zoe a new jacket, bought herself some nice tops.
A jacket that she needs since it's 80 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, it's
2 days
so
after
fucking
Thanksgiving.
cold. My nipples are frozen right now.
I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, and of course I had to go to work on Friday, but I ended up getting out
this
early.
Will be your last one, though.
I'm crossing my fingers that they still accept that my schedule change.
410s are beautiful.
I know.
All right, so is that all we have to say for this edition of Thanksgiving?
Pretty much. I had a good Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend's still going. I went to the Festival of Lights last night, too.
Ah, yes, the annual Mission Inn.
The 20th annual.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dang.
so they had a fireworks display, and it was beautiful. I went to go to Casey's Cupcakes for the first time. We had cupcakes, but I was actually looking for Casey Reinhardt.
Yes.
It's not stalking unless you get caught.
You need to tell people about her because
is
she like a multinational person or is she
she's just
like a local chick?
She's a local chick. Yeah, she only has like 3 locations for her thing, but she might be famous because she was actually on Laguna Beach. Isn't that weird?
The MTV show?
The MTV show Laguna Beach. Yeah,
interesting.
Her and her brother
Kristen
and
Cavallari and all that.
Yeah,
Kristen Cavallari is married to Jay Cutler, who is the quarterback of the Bears.
Oh wow. But also, her and her brother were on that show, and her brother used to date Paris Hilton for a little while.
Nice.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
But for those of you who don't know, Casey's Cupcakes is a local cupcakery. It's right there on the Mission Inn. It was her very first location. She has 3 locations now. I think she has one on Fashion Island and Laguna Beach.
What the hell is Fashion Island?
Oh, so it's like more towards the coast. I can't remember what city it is in, but it's called Fashion Island.
Okay. Well, she's uber hot.
She is. And
I remember going in there once and just being like, I feel uncomfortable because there's this picture of her on the wall staring at me suggestively. Yeah.
When she's over the shoulder, with the mixing bowl. I'll give you something to mix in that bowl.
She's not a real person. That's just a drawing of someone.
That's a computer-generated image. Yeah, but Casey she started this cupcakery over there, and she was on Food Network's Cupcake Wars. And that's where I first heard of it. I just happened to be watching Cupcakes. Like, wow, that chick is hot. And she's like, oh, I'm Casey Reinhardt of Casey's Cupcakes and from Riverside, California. And I'm like, what?
I know that city.
Know where that is.
Yes.
And so I've been, and she
so
won
Mike
that.
zipped up his pants, ran out the door.
No, I finished.
And then
and then I zipped up my pants.
Careful to avoid, getting his junk caught in the zipper.
Exactly.
And
then I ran to my first.
He ran to Riverside from. I don't know if you were in San Bernardino or Paris.
I don't know where I was. It was all a blur.
It was a long way.
Yeah. So she won that episode too. Which, so congratulations to her. And so I've been obsessed with getting that cupcake, and I finally did last night. And I had a strawberry something. It was fucking delicious, and I love my wife's cupcakes, but. I don't know.
I've had one of her peanut butter cum cakes, and they're delicious.
Yeah, they're basically orgasm cupcakes.
I think so.
Yeah,
but
she was there.
Thank you for the backstory because I was not aware of all this.
Yeah, she was there with the mayor, so I knew she was there at the festivities. But
the current mayor or the mayor-elect of Riverside?
The current mayor, because he said yes, because he said this was his last. This was his last Festival of Lights. Okay. So I had a good time last night too. I wish you were there. We could have.
What the hell was I doing last night? I've already forgotten.
Yeah, you weren't watching.
I was having Thai food with, another hot chick.
Fuck you, fuck you, Adam.
With 2 hot chicks.
Fuck you.
Who were buying my cabinets.
Well, I unsuccessfully was stalking Casey Reinhardt. So that's
all right,
what I was
good for
doing.
you. Well, the mayor's daughter is a friend of mine on Facebook.
Ooh.
So I'm kind of connected that way.
You're 3 degrees
because
separated.
The mayor went to my church. It doesn't go there now, but used to go there.
So you're 3 degrees separated from Casey Reinhardt.
I am.
Yeah.
That's why I had such good dreams last night.
Yay! Zinger, you're going to tell me about those dreams. But for now, we're going to round out the end of the episode and go into our sound off. Yeah. So, sounding off this Thanksgiving weekend, I'm going to let Adam go ahead and go because he's got 2 albums.
I have 2 albums. One I'm thankful for. The other I would like to see flushed down the toilet.
Let's do it.
Oh, my goodness. So I'll start with Green Day because it's just, okay, don't buy this album, whatever you do.
And this is
people
Green
out
Day
there.
Dose. This
Green
is
Day
the second
Dose.
in their trilogy of albums that they're releasing.
Previously, I talked about Uno, which I gave a 4 out of 12. And
not a very good score.
I listened to it once since then, and I was like, nah, it's pop-punk garbage. So this one was dose, and from what I had read, it was going to be like they made a pop punk album, and then they made a garage punk album.
Ooh,
and then Trey is going to be like an epic album. And
like a arena rock.
So I guess something in the vein of American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown. So the set list for this album is just terrible. I mean, track 2, Fuck Time.
Nice.
Track 6, Makeout Party. And then
they think they're 15-year-old again.
Track something else, Lady Cobra. Track something else, Wow, that's loud. And then 2 songs about random chicks. So it's basically an 18-year-old writing punk songs in his garage, but like not good punk songs at all.
How long do you think it took them to write this album then?
This was like the let's jam for a weekend. And we'll have an entire album.
I hate that.
It's just not worth it at all. I was trying to figure out how many to give it out of 12. I think there's 12. 13. Sorry. So I'm giving it a 1.5.
So you like half a song?
Well, I liked the intro track, which was a minute and 5 seconds long. That was all right. Yeah. And then there was one of the chick songs called Ashley, which reminded me of one of our friends, Ashley, from way back.
Former friend, yeah.
That song I gave a half to because it had an interestingly good chorus that just sounded like a pre-chorus, but it was a little good. Ugh. But then I'm going to take away that half, so really I'm just going to give it a 1. Because there's a song on here called Nightlife, which is the worst fucking song I have ever heard in my entire life.
I say that a lot about a lot of current Green Day albums.
Oh my god! It's him singing, and then out of nowhere there's some chick rapping.
What?
And the whole song is just about basically him just going out and partying, and it sounds like it has a very heroin opium den vibe to it.
Now we know why he did that shit on the stage.
Exactly. This was his I'm Back on Crystal Meth album.
Well,
so
now
3 days straight through.
Was he on the list of richest lead singers?
He was way above Fred Durst.
Okay. So he's got a lot of money for drugs.
Oh, man. Just when I thought like maybe his drug use wasn't that bad, I listened to this album.
Oh boy.
And it's just so I'll round it out. Well, I'll give it a 1.
Yeah, okay.
Out of 13.
1 out of 13.
Which,
wow.
I don't even ever want to listen to it again.
Good.
So
after your first one, you were cautiously optimistic to continue.
Yeah.
Now, how are you feeling about Trey?
Trey, oh my God, I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Looking forward at all?
It's
going to be a whole new musical style.
And one of the songs from Trey is already on the Breaking Dawn Part 2 soundtrack.
Did you hear it?
No. Well, I tried listening to it, but I was just like, I made it 2 or 3 minutes into the 5 minutes it
Holy
was.
Shit.
And I'm like, this is fucking boring. And then I tried watching the video, and it's just like, it's live footage mixed with clips from the movie.
Yeah, clips from the movie.
I was like, okay, this is not even worth watching anyway. So, no, I'm not optimistic, and I might have to say goodbye to Green Day after this.
Thank you.
I had to,
Thank you for coming to my side of the fence.
Give it a double check, because I'm like, why did I like them in the first place?
Well, they had some really good songs back in the past, and so I understand the nostalgia and, the want.
And American Idiot had a handful of really good songs. 21st Century Breakdown had even more of a handful of good songs, because 18 tracks. There's going to be a few in there, but there was quite a few stinkers in there too. But this is like going back to just the stuff that I didn't want to listen to back before I thought they got good.
They're done, son.
I think so, and they'll be around for a while until Billy Joe overdoses on whatever.
That'll be very soon.
And the album art. If you want the look on your face while you're listening to these albums, just look at the pictures of the band members. You will have that look. Where you're like, did I just get punched in the face? Pretty much.
Okay, so another album that you enjoyed this week.
Okay, Soundgarden, new Soundgarden.
Okay,
King Animal. I was trying to figure out how to do this album without giving the entire history of Soundgarden.
You might have to.
Oh, okay. Well,
go as fast as you can. So.
All right, 1990. Well, they started back in 1984. They had a couple of albums. Then they got super famous with Bad Motorfinger, which I've reviewed on other podcasts, which is still one of my wrong album, but still Bad Motorfinger, one of the greatest albums of all time. Then Super Unknown came out in 1994. one of the greatest albums of all time. Black Hole Stun, Flush that song. It's been overplayed. Yeah, we've already discussed that.
That was we don't do
still one of the greatest albums of all time. Down on the Upside came out in 1996. One of the greatest albums, not as good as the other two, but still really great songs. And then they broke up in 1997.
Right.
Chris Cornell did a solo album in 1999 called Euphoria Morning. One of the greatest albums of all time. 2001, he teams up with Rage Against the Machine Rejects.
We form Rage Against Garden.
And, slash
Audioslave.
2003, first Audioslave album comes out. One of the greatest albums of all time, in my opinion.
Yes.
Then 2005, Audioslave album came out and was not one of the greatest albums of all time. And then in 2006, the third Audioslave album came out, and again, not one of the greatest albums of all time.
Broke up, right?
Then they ended around that time. But I think like right after that album hit, they were just
knew.
like, okay, we're done.
They knew.
2007,
but
Chris
then Rage
Cornell
got back together like right then too.
Rage got together right after that. Chris Cornell did another solo album called Carry On, which came out in 2007. I enjoyed that album. A lot of people really, really hate that album, so I don't know. I haven't listened to it since 2007.
Do you think it's more nostalgia, or is it a legitimately good album?
I think it was basically, I was looking for Euphoria Morning 2, which was his first solo album. And for me, it filled that void.
Okay, good.
Other people, maybe not so much. But I listened to it a lot back then, gave up on it. And then he kind of disappeared. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Then 2009, Scream.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Chris Cornell hip-hop album produced by Timbaland.
Timbaland.
I listened to that album twice.
That's 2 words, by the way, Timbaland.
Yeah. I could not stomach that album at all. January 1st.
I think that was a good idea.
I know. And he released videos and singles, and it sold. I don't think it sold very well. I never really did the stats finding on it.
As much as a Chris Cornell rap album would sell. January
1st, 2010, he posts on Twitter, Soundgarden's back together.
Yay!
Just out of nowhere. It was just like, okay, cool. Like I've been waiting for this since 2002.
Are we punked right now?
Yeah, exactly. But after that, nothing. I mean, I heard about them doing shows. They went on tour. And then in November of 2010, Conan's second episode on TBS.
Yes.
They were the musical guests, and they played one of their new songs, and I was like, that was cool. And I would watch every time the repeat of that episode came around. I'm like, I'd watch it again and again and again. Like, yeah, that song is awesome. And then like they went on tour. That was the last I heard until they finally announced that this album was going to come out. November 12th, 2012. So it's been almost 3 years since they announced that they were getting back together, that this album came out, which is very bizarre.
Sometimes they just need the time to write.
And Chris Cornell did an entire solo tour. In the meantime, he did that. It was an entire acoustic solo tour.
Yes.
Mike was nice enough to buy me the album from that.
Yes.
Which I enjoyed. I did pretty much all of those Audioslave songs needed to just be solo Chris Cornell songs.
Right.
Acoustic anyway. So they're still not that good, but whatever. This one, I mean, I've been digesting it all week long. I must say it is very awesome to hear all 4 of those parts. Because, I mean...
Hear the gang back together.
Yeah, I mean, there's Chris Cornell with the vocals, very distinct. The guitar player, Kim Thale, very distinct guitar playing, very Soundgarden-esque. Ben Shepherd, the bass player... He has a very interesting style as well. That I was just like, oh yeah, he's very... I never even realized that I picked up on his bass so much. And Matt Cameron on drums, who is my favorite drummer of all time, who has been with Pearl Jam since the year 2000, has released 1, 2, 4... God, I can't count. I'm taking up too much time here. But there was Binaural.
Keep going, you're good.
There was Riot Act. There was... the Avocado album, and there was the Backspacer album. So 4 Pearl Jam albums where he is nowhere to be found on those albums. It's like, I hear drums in the background.
That's not his fault, though. That's the producer's fault.
Right. Yeah. And so I was just like, what the F is going on with this? And, he actually had more chances to get songwriting credits with Pearl Jam anyway. And he did his own solo stuff. He did this side project called Wellwater Conspiracy. I mean, but then to actually hear him Soundgarden drums, I was like, yes,
there you
are.
You
were still here.
We found you.
Still the greatest drummer of the modern era, in my opinion. So to hear him again the way I've always wanted to hear him, just really, really helped me enjoy this album more.
Good. So good production then.
Good production, awesome production. Chris Cornell's vocals, still, he's how old? Black Hole Sun. He can still, I mean, you can tell it's not like 1991 Chris Cornell, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
And
he's kept on it. He's kept himself busy, so that's good.
As for the songwriting, as for the songs themselves, I can't say that they're hitting me on the same chord that Soundgarden songs hit me back in those days.
You don't know how long it took him to write the album?
No, because I would just get like random updates on Facebook, and there's like a billion YouTube videos of them recording in the studio and talking about the inspiration for this song and the inspiration for that song. And maybe I'll listen to those later after I've digested the album more. But I can't even really assign it a number right now.
Interesting. How many tracks are there?
There are 12 tracks.
12, okay. And
which is pretty standard.
What are you thinking just off the top of your head? If I were to say, hey, Adam, how many tracks do you like? Stop thinking about it. Tell me how many tracks you like.
I probably have to say like a 6.
6?
Out of 12.
Okay,
because it's like, I like them all about half.
Okay.
You know? Like I give them all the tracks a 50%.
So you would probably chalk that up to poor songwriting then.
I would.
So each song basically falls apart at one point.
Yes. And I know they threw in a couple of ballady songs that after listening to Chris Cornell's solo and audio slaving for the last decade,
you're okay with
I'm just like, I didn't like a lot of those with Audio Slave, and now they kind of sound like Audio Slave songs, but you can tell they're Soundgarden songs.
It doesn't translate well then.
Yeah. Like I'm just thinking, even if he did this acoustic, I don't think I would like this song, but it needs to be more of an acoustic song.
Okay.
But their heavier stuff, I mean, I'm digging, I think.
So maybe, if they choose to continue to write more music, maybe they just seem to lost a spark between them, and their songwriting's maybe a little bit off. Songwriting maybe has something
and that's
to do
where I
with
was
the
going back
too.
and forth, because to hear all 4 of them together again, and I never realized how much I really understood every aspect of that band.
Yeah.
Because I listened to Super Unknown like all the time for 5 solid years.
Right.
I mean, I just like know that band inside and out in my brain. So to listen to all that together was good.
We all have our bands that we do that too. Yeah.
And so I think, I don't know, I'm still out on it. I need to listen to it
maybe
more.
a few more listens, and then we'll eventually get you to that 12.
And you know me, I've already moved on in my style of music anyway. I mean, I'm listening to so much different stuff.
You're basically on my side of the fence now.
I think so. It's
okay to be nostalgic.
God, it was so funny at one point because I'm listening to Dose, and it's the last track, and it's just awful. It's like a ballad, and there's this weird bridge in it where he sings way out of key, and the guitar sounds off. And I'm like, oh man, this needs to be over. And
they didn't even try.
I'm like, oh yeah, I want to listen to that Hawthorne Heights album again. Yeah. And I was like, oh, why won't this Green Day album end so I can listen to Hawthorne Heights? And I was just like, if my 2005 self had heard me say that in my mind, I would have been like,
you would have been wedgied so hard.
I was like, I'd much rather listen to Hawthorne Heights than Green Day right now. Yeah. That's like a weird frame of mind.
We've talked about Hawthorne Heights on the show too. We give them, like, I feel it's people give them unfair. It's unfair treatment because that stupid fucking Ohio is for Lovers song.
Right.
Yeah. And they're really a great band.
Yeah, and after being in Ohio, it reminded me, like, I need to listen to more Hawthorne Heights. So I've been doing that the last couple of weeks. All right.
Well, thanks a lot for your album reviews, and the Soundgarden history, too.
Oh
so
my God.
I hope it works out for you.
If anybody has any questions about Soundgarden history, consult your local Wikipedia page or ask me.
If anybody has questions on Batman history, please feel free to ask me.
Or Casey.
Or Casey Reinhardt from Casey's
Mike knows
Cupcakes.
All about her.
Remember, it's not stalking unless you get caught. All right, so I'm going to round up the end of the episode with my sound off. So as I've mentioned before, let me let Adam stop laughing. So as I mentioned before, My Chemical Romance is releasing their scrapped album Conventional Weapons 2 at a time. And we talked about Boy Division and Tomorrow's Money, which was released last month.
Both Mike and I enjoyed.
I loved it a lot.
I only listened to it once because, again, I'm waiting until the full 10 or 12 tracks.
Well, I'm going to provide the link below, but they've released the other 2 songs, Ambulance, which is all in, sorry, that was all in caps lock, and Gun, period, which is weird to have that punctuation there. I don't know why it's
It's not period, the word period.
Yes, gun, dot.
Dot, yes. Yeah. I had to ask Mike which one it meant because I wasn't sure.
Very confusing, I know.
But talking about your gun period.
So, girl, your gun period.
You know, I was stuck listening to the radio yesterday in my mom's truck transporting furniture.
Yes.
And I'm Not Okay came on the radio.
Interesting.
And because it's a shuffle weekend on X1039.
That is a 7 or 8 year old song by now.
2004, right?
Holy shit.
Yeah. I still I remember I can listen to that album and not hate that song. But to hear it on the radio,
out of context.
Yeah, to hear it on the radio, it still sucks major balls.
It does.
So
you have to hear that as a whole. It's a weird song. It's definitely weird.
And then to look at where they went into Danger Days.
Danger Days and the second half of Black Parade, which I still don't like. You like it.
I do. I enjoy that album.
So I'm proud to announce that it's still going strong. These two songs are not as strong as the previous year that they released, but I could see there's an overall theme going on in this album, and they're still hitting that mark. And I'm really eagerly anticipating the rest of them. The next batch comes out December 18th, 2012. So I'm checking it out.
Is it 2 songs every month?
2 songs every month. So we got the next 2 songs: "The World Is Ugly" and "The Light Behind Your Eyes." Oh.
That's a very bipolar.
Yes. So that's coming out December 18th. Kiss the Ring and "Make Room!" Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Make room for my ego!
That comes out January 8th. And on February 5th, we've got "Surrender the Night" and "Burn Bright," because that rhymes.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So I got the links down below.
Just in time for Valentine's Day.
If you're check them out if you're a fan of My Chemical Romance, or if you're a wayward fan of My Chemical Romance. I think this will probably ring you back in.
And if you hate them, let us know.
Let us know, please. Comment below. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. If you guys are still in your turkey comas, hopefully this will wake you up. And if you guys, any of you are participating in November, like Adam and I are,
yes, we are.
Please enjoy this final week.
I had to explain it to so many people this week, including coworkers and family members.
It'll be gone next week, though.
And our dear friend Rob said that I kind of vaguely resembled his small dog. The wispy hair that's on his dog's ears.
Aw, that's sweet.
I was like, oh, I need to shave this shit. This is bad.
You're not planning to keep it, right?
I'm not planning on keeping it. My wife hates it.
I was told by both Joe and Laura that I should keep it.
Ooh.
Laura told me I should keep it.
Ooh.
Maybe I should.
Well, nobody told me to keep it, so I'm going to be shaving mine.
So we'll have our beards up until the next episode. We might do something special. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But enjoy your week, guys. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. And welcome to Adam's family.
Yay, my friends and others.
Yay.
I love you both.
Please continue to listen. We'll say more truth words.
We promise to.
We might even say the C word.
One more time.
And then we'll lose Mickey and we got no one.
No, it's gone.
All right, enjoy your week, everyone.